You're scrolling through house listings late at night. One catches your eye. Clean kitchen, nice lighting, good neighborhood. You start picturing your life there. Where the couch goes, how mornings would feel, maybe even telling yourself, yeah, this is it. Then you check the price. And weirdly, your brain doesn't panic. Because the monthly payment, it looks manageable. The bank says you're approved. The agent says you can afford it. So you start leaning in. Here's the thing. That exact moment is where most people lock themselves into a decision they don't fully understand. Because buying a house in 2026 is not the same game it used to be. The rules changed. But people are still thinking like it's 2015. Back then, interest rates were low. Really low. Borrowing money was cheap. So even expensive houses felt easier to justify. But now, rates are higher. And that one change quietly flips the entire equation. 'Cause most people don't think in total cost. They think in monthly payments. And that's the trap. Let's say you buy a $500,000 house. At a low rate, maybe it felt fine. But at higher rates, you could end up paying hundreds of thousands more over time. Same house, same price. Completely different outcome. It's like buying something on sale, but paying double because of financing. And yet, people still ask, can I afford the monthly? Wrong question. The real question is, what is this costing me over 20 to 30 years? And what am I giving up by doing this? Because once you buy, your financial life starts revolving around that decision. And this is where the second problem hits. Being house poor. Your income starts flowing into one place. Mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance. Something breaks, you pay. Roof, plumbing, heating. It's all on you now. So even though you own a home, you don't feel free. You feel locked in. It's like owning something that slowly owns you back. And here's where people push back. Yeah, but at least I'm building equity. Okay, but let's break that down. In the early years of a mortgage, most of your payment goes toward interest, not the house, not your ownership. The bank gets paid first, so for a long time you're not building wealth as much as you think. You're servicing debt. That doesn't mean equity is fake. It just means it's slower and less powerful than people assume. And this leads to a bigger misunderstanding. Thinking a house is always an investment. Sometimes it is, but often it's not, because a real investment puts money in your pocket. Your house? It usually takes money out every month. Now, yes, it might go up in value over time, but that's not guaranteed. And even if it does, that value is locked. You can't easily use it without selling or borrowing again. So you're wealthy on paper, but tight in real life. And this is where opportunity cost quietly does the most damage. Because every dollar you put into your house is a dollar you're not putting somewhere else. Imagine instead putting that money into assets that compound. Over time, that difference becomes massive. But most people never think about that. They just follow the script. Buy house equals success. Now let's talk about 2026 specifically. Prices are high in many markets. Interest rates are still elevated compared to a few years ago. And incomes? They haven't kept up at the same pace. So what happens? People stretch. They take on bigger loans, longer terms, smaller margins, and it works until something goes wrong. Because when your finances are tight, you lose flexibility. You can't easily change jobs. You can't take risks. You can't invest aggressively. You're focused on one thing, keeping the house. And slowly, without realizing it, the house becomes your priority, not your freedom. And here's the part most people don't expect. Renting can actually be the smarter move, at least for a period of time. Not because renting is perfect, but because it gives you flexibility. You're not tied down, you're not responsible for every repair, and most importantly, you can control where your money goes. You can invest it, build skills, start something on the side. You stay liquid. And liquidity is underrated, because opportunities don't wait. They show up fast. And if all your money is locked in a house, you can't act. That's the hidden cost. Now, this doesn't mean you should never buy a house. It just means you should stop treating it like an automatic win. Because in the right situation, buying makes sense. Stable income, long-term location, strong savings, low debt, enough margin to handle unexpected costs. But most people don't check those boxes. They rush in because it feels like the next step. And that's dangerous, because big financial decisions shouldn't be driven by emotion or social pressure. They should be driven by math and long-term thinking. So here's a better way to approach it. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this house?" ask, "Does this decision improve my overall financial position? Will it give you more freedom? Or less? Will it help you build wealth? Or slow you down? Will it give you flexibility? Or lock you in?" Because at the end of the day, owning a home is not the goal. The goal is control over your time, your money, and your life. And if buying a house in 2026 takes that away from you, then maybe it's not the smart move right now. Maybe the smarter move is to wait, build, invest, and position yourself better. Because the worst mistake isn't renting. The worst mistake is committing too early to something that limits you for decades.
Subscribe. Money is easy.